Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Night After Night, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I am Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
we're about to review O Come All Ye Bums, directed by Joel Zwick, written by Paul B. Price and Stephen Nathan. Which you get some information about them, don't you, Chris?
I do indeed. So this duo worked together on Playing the Roxy and have one more episode to go for the show. Paul B. Price would, as mentioned before, go on to work on an episode of Making It and the Ferris Bueller TV show. Like, again, how was this a thing? Stephen Nathan more recently produced the TV series Bones, as well as Joan of Arcadia, as we previously mentioned. His other credits include writing Tracy Takes on New York, the TV movie based on the show, as well as producing and writing on the series Love and War with Jay Thomas and Joanna Gleason. As for director Joel Zwick, a bit of trivia, which I think this episode's madcap flavor and rather heartwarming nature sort of speaks to in a way. In a recent interview in May of 2020, Joel said, and quote, or mostly quote, "Most of my life was about connections and just about the ability to always try, never turn down things for fear. If it's an opportunity to prove what you got on the thing, then get in there and prove what you got." And that's, I think, is a rather apt sort of way of, describing, I think, the fact that he just did a lot of directing, and a lot of it is because I think he tried and he kept at it. As to his run on the show, this is, I think this is his fifth episode, I think. Third, fourth, or fifth episode. I'm pretty sure it's his fifth. But we're going to let the audiences guess how many more episodes he's got left on the show, although we've actually covered that number overall. So yes, you do the math. Anywho, but yeah, that's what we got for our writers and director today.
That's great. And this is what the episode is about. In the show's second and last Christmas episode, we get a panoramic view of a holiday season in 1962 Milwaukee. While the girls get their tree together and go bargain shopping, Lenny and Squiggy take weekend jobs as the department store elf and fairy to supplement their income. A violent incident with a brat results in the revelation that Frank's meeting ends meet by playing Santa at the store, and his annual Christmas dinner for the homeless is in jeopardy due to the poor financial situation at the Pizza Bowl. Turning to their friends and family for help, the girls try everything from panhandling to calling in favors to make sure the dinner goes off without a hitch. Will they succeed? What do you think about this one?
A lot of interesting fun to it. It's definitely one of the better Christmas episodes I've seen of a TV show, especially a sitcom. Yeah. I enjoyed it more than I expected. I was expecting something that was a little kind of hammy, the way that what is it? Hear the Angels Sing was in season 2, I think it was.
Yeah.
This was sweet. It's sweet and poignant, but the comedy was better integrated in many ways. Yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot of good comedy. The girls are fantastic in this episode. There's very sisterly arguments between them, and it's. And I also got a comment. So Carmine shows up briefly in this episode. Eddie is heard laughing off camera.
Yes.
A lot in this episode.
Yeah. You can usually hear either Eddie or Michael laughing really hard on the audio track of most of the episodes of the show. They're part of the laugh track. 90% of the time it's either one of them because they're pretty good laughers. You can really hear them. Eddie is really, really enjoying himself watching this taping, and I can't blame him. I like this episode a lot, even though it's kind of, episodic, to be honest.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's very vignette-driven. There is a through line, but it's very much, this is what it's like for Christmas for these characters. And this is what happens every year. And this is what they do. And it's enjoyable on that level. I watch it every Christmas. So I may be a little biased. But every Christmas I watch this episode instead of Hear the Angels' Voices.
Mm.
But I really like this one. For a lot of reasons.
Yeah, no, it's good. I love the whole, them putting up the tree is adorable.
That is so cute.
I wasn't a fan of the running joke about Laverne being unable to sing, That kind of it comes off a little crass and embarrassing at times.
I kind of like that one because she doesn't care. She really honestly doesn't care that she can't remember the lyrics and that she's off key. She's having fun. She's going to sing out. She just sings out full throat. She does not care. So that makes that one tolerable for me. That makes that joke stomachable.
Good point. Did love all the tinsel though.
Yeah, whole handfuls of tinsel all over the tree, all over the little stunted bush that they had to finally gotten very, very, very cheaply, which is adorable. You notice that even though Shirley makes a big deal about this being a family heirloom, none of the cookies make it onto the tree.
Yep.
None of them do. And Laverne eating one of them and not knowing, and nothing happens to her.
Yeah.
And
The star has been in her family for 11 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't tell. I dunked it. She does not get food poisoning or die. That is one tough woman.
Yep. Either that or that was a very artificial cookie. It was a cookie from the future.
The future.
Yeah,
Sugar
future
cookies
cookie.
are only made out of 50% organic materials.
And 30%
That-
alien guts.
30% alien guts and 12% Soylent Green, as always.
Oh God. I finally watched that movie recently.
Really?
Yeah.
You finally get to see it? What'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. It was amazing.
Good.
I love that it's a great mystery story. The twist almost kind of weakens the film in some respects, or the fact that the twist became a meme and a joke, for decades, because it's just a really darn good dystopian sci-fi thriller.
It is, to be honest. Yeah, it's very good. It's very dark.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And the way it uses its darkness, yeah.
Yeah, even without the twist, that's a bleak movie. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
This is so on brand for us. We're recording this episode in October in the spooky season, talking about Christmas, and then get tangentially talking about 70s bleak dystopian science fiction.
To be fair,
has
Laverne Shirley has a long-term tendency not to air seasonal episodes in their proper seasons. So we have a pattern that we're following here. This one actually did air in December. So we gotta give him credit for that.
You are correct. 19th December 1978. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just a few days before Christmas.
Also, super hashtag relatable, the blinking lights, quote unquote, of the.
Yeah. Yep. And then they think it's going to come back on, so they're standing there rocking back and forth, waiting for it to come back on, and it never does. Until magic happens later. And
right.
It's funny. I love the little rocking. Love them waiting. And enter Rags, the best bum ever.
Yep. Hamilton Camp. Yeah, so I want to mention the actor playing Rags. Hamilton Camp was a longtime comedy actor with 213 credits to his name from the 1950s all the way to 2007, which is a movie that came out a whole 2 years after his death in 2005. Because that was a really rough time for post-production hell movies. He did a lot of voice acting through the years, including work on The Tick. He played Barney Rubble in the 1980s Flintstones cartoon, and even was Professor Moriarty in the English dub of Sherlock Hound. So great, wonderful, delightful actor. And here it's kind of cool that he plays a particular bum, a particular way, a particular cliche way that is, it's lovably delightful. It's just a scamp,
Yeah. Yeah. The absolutely stereotypical wine-soaked bum that does not care that he's a bum. He's too busy having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his life. And he drifts apparently in and out of the girls' lives. We've never seen him before. We won't see him again, sadly. But, yeah. He's a fun little character. He's a really fun little character.
And I love his line. I was looking for Mr. DeFazio.
He gets called that a couple of times in the series, Mr. DeFazio. Laverne DeFazio. That'll pop up once again. A lot less eggs and a lot more nog.
But yeah, it's good. And yeah, and so it's kind of interesting how here they establish their kind of their premise that this running recurrent element of the dinner, the Christmas dinner, which is interesting. This is the first we're really hearing about it.
Yeah.
But it feels like a very frank thing to do too. I could see even back home in New York that the DeFazio family probably was big enough at a certain point that, different families would, they would all kind of pitch in, like that's what you see in the festivals. So that seems like a very communal thing. And that Frank would want to maintain that tradition, especially because, this is a guy who probably had hard times building his business and, wasn't always sure of what the future held. And getting him to be able to, him being able to give back is very Frank. It's the kind of Frank that he doesn't want to admit is there, but he's a big, soft, gooey. He's like a good, soft, gooey pizza,
Yep, gooey with cheese and sauce right in the center of his soul.
Exactly.
Frank here just got an award for doing charity work. So it's like his charity work is known. No wonder people are willing to stick their necks out and help him in return. It's very him, though, not to brag about it and to be quiet about it. Not to care and be gruff. What am I going to tell you? What good are you going to do for me? I'll take care of everything I need to by myself. He's that kind of guy.
Right.
So that's very Frank. This brings us to the girls trying to grab some presents at a department store, which is very them. All the physical comedy is really on point.
Mm-hmm.
As they try desperately to grab things for their friends at a decent price without getting killed.
Yep. And even dealing with, it's like, that doesn't fit you. These are exactly my size, 7.5 petite. Oh, God. Yeah. I mean,
not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it, but at very least, it is the actor playing that part of the rather optimistic shopper.
Yes.
Is Mickey Fox, a distinct character actor, known for such classic high art, wonderful, Hollywood pieces of art as Eat My Dust, Big Bad Mama, California Split, and Caged Heat.
Hey. Those are awesome credits.
Those are all
awesome credits to have.
I mean, I say that sarcasm for the sake of the audience, but honestly, those films I've seen, I love those movies. So, yeah. Sadly, Mickey. The reason I'm bringing this up, Mickey never comes back on the show, and she passed away in 1988. So we hope you're getting quick and fun laughs up there on the other side, Mickey. Thanks for your work.
Salute. Okay, so the girls are so excited to grab gloves, missing only one finger. Laverne loses her shoe. So much is happening. It's just so frantic, but it's so funny. They never really walk out with those pants that they were going to get in, do they? You don't see them with any bags when they come back to go confront Frank and the boys.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think their efforts were pretty unsuccessful. Which, I mean, I've done the Christmas shopping that way, where it's like I go and I spend a few hours, and it's like I got nothing, man.
Yeah.
God, was it just me, or did you get Krampus flashbacks?
Kind of, a little bit. But I'm the kind of person who plans a Christmas shopping with the precision of a martinet. I'm going to go in there. I know which section to go to. I'll go here, I'll go there, I'll go there. And then I'll have time to browse. And I plot everything. So I'll get there in time for X bargain or Y bargain. So,
as both a person who likes to plan their shopping similarly and someone who's worked retail during the holidays, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I try to be on point when I do that.
But I still love the slightly irregular glove sale. Some only missing one finger, and Shirley comments, "They'd be perfect for my cousin Vito, the butcher."
Yeah. That was a great line. And poor Laverne hobbling around with one shoe, trying to step in anything.
I mean, just that whole gag of them in the bouncing around in the clothing bin is just, oh man.
Yes. I'm not for sale. Don't touch me. So the girls make it out alive. Apparently they get gloves or something. The boys in their costumes. How great is that? How great are they?
Yeah, my note is, oh my God, no. but in a sort of a way of like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. But I love how honest he is. He's in back gluing on this fake beard.
Yeah. I love that Lenny thought Santa was real until a year before.
Yep.
Of course he did. He's a guy who can't ride his bicycle alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's him. It's innocent in a way and very him in a way.
It is. As well as Squiggy's, it's like, I want to thank you for laying me down easy. And Squiggy says, I'll let these kids down too.
Yeah.
I bet you will there, Squig.
Yeah. It's going to be pure him. And his insistence that he's the elf, and Lenny's embarrassed with he's standing there in a fairy costume. It's like, oh, boys. What does that sound, fairy? And then Lenny just squeezes his fists together. He's ready to smack him. He's ready to backhand him.
I also, I have to appreciate the fact these boys are they're thinking of the fact these kids grew up on World War II movies, because there's the line, Donner, Dancer, and Blitzkrieg. You got a German reindeer, they make the best flyers, which I believe is a reference to the fact that the Messerschmitts and those fighter planes from the Second World War were pretty formidable in the air during that time. So,
Yep. And of course, the boys love that kind of stuff on their own anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they're going to bring that up. And I love that they managed to retain certain elements of each of their costumes. Lenny's still wearing his pork pie hat. He's wearing his motorcycle boots. Squiggy's got his purple shirt on and his black t-shirt.
Yes.
So it's just so them. The whole thing is so them. I think a hello entrance, by the way, was chopped off of this version that's on the DVD.
Aw,
which is
boo, boo. Especially if it was the kids doing the setup line, too.
Yeah. I do believe the little brat who helps get Frank fired is familiar to the show, unless I'm crazy.
Yeah. So I forgot to get, fuller details, but yeah, I was like, this, what was it? I mentioned that the kid was terrible at acting like a brat because he smiles too much. He's having too much fun. Yeah. And then I think I was like, that kid looks familiar. And I looked it up.
Yeah, I noticed it.
And you were the one who noticed it right away, right? He was like,
yeah, because I know what he looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Scott. It's Scott Marshall.
Yeah. Scott Marshall, Gary's son, having way too much fun, enjoying the heck out of life there. For once, the kids were allowed on the sets, because usually the kids would barge on the set because everybody cursed up a storm during filming. So Gary got to bring his son there. Scott had multiple different kinds of influences upon the Marshallverse. He came up to his father and asked, why isn't there an alien on Happy Days? And so Gary had that light bulb moment, and Mork from Mork was invented. Scott he basically tailored the shows to entertain his two kids, well, his several kids. And Scott's opinions and tastes and his sister's opinions and tastes influenced the shows as they went along. I believe Scott's director now. I believe.
Yeah, he's done a few things. Let me just.
Yes, sir.
I think so. Let me just double check. Look it up now. Looking up director. Yeah, 12 credits. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did a bunch of video shorts in the 2000s. Include. Oh my God, he did the Smash Mouth "I'm a Believer" video.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's done a few films. He did Keeping Up with the Steins. I've heard of that movie. Yeah, the one with Jeremy Piven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also, let's see, it looks like he's got a recent credit. Yeah, he's currently filming a documentary about his dad. And he is, he's got 2 other films in pre-production.
Yeah, yep.
So say the gods of IMDb.
Yes. But he stayed in the industry after doing all these little roles on his dad's shows.
Yep, and I think
he's so entertaining.
And he did a couple of, because he ends up in, oh God, I'm trying to check here. Yeah, because he gets these like little bit parts in like Overboard, Beaches, Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's in Exit to Eden as Latte Chavez.
Oh my God. I love that Gary Marshall directed Exit to Eden. I still love that is real life. This really happened. Every time I think about that, my brain just goes.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. We talked about this on extensively on the Gary Marshall retrospective podcast with the FonzieCast folks.
Yes.
But
yes.
But anyway,
a 6% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, y'all.
God.
I think it's his worst rated movie. I'm pretty sure.
And this is the guy who did Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary. They looked like they were
Bless
fun to
you
make,
there.
but they're not the greatest movies to watch. Anyway, Frank is Santa Claus.
Yes, Frank is Santa. He's trying, but he's his gruff self.
Yep. I love the Santa likes to eat little bad boys, and I was like, aha, nom nom nom, no face.
Yeah. And then when the guy who runs the department hears the commotion and comes in to fire Frank, he goes, I should have hired that same drunk I had last year.
Right. And Lenny's response is like, oh, don't worry, we can get him drunk. Just give us a little time.
We just have to ask nice. You have to ask nice, which is a great line.
Right.
It's a great line.
I want to point out the manager, by the way. He's played by Paul McHale, who in a strange coincidence played a Father Carmine in Rocky V.
Huh, no way.
But yeah, he was another TV actor, lots of bit parts here and there throughout the 70s and 80s. Nothing too distinctive, but you can go look him up. But yeah. And Scott's delivery of, I got Santa fired. I got Santa fired.
He's so good. He is so good as a bratty little kid. He has so much fun in this role. Good for him.
God, and Cindy as Shirley's whole exchange with him.
Monster!
Oh, God. Oh, and that's another point. You can hear just Eddie just losing it with laughter.
Yes.
I can't believe my...
because it's hilarious.
And I love her ending line of that scene. It's like, I can't believe myself. I wanted to hit that child. I still want to hit him. So this is also the first time we really hear about the Pizza Bowl's finances.
Yeah. You would think it's at least successful enough to keep the lights on. Just judging from the outside, judging by how many customers they have. And yet, here we find out they've had a struggle going on. So it's interesting to hear, interesting to understand that perhaps things aren't as rosy as we see it on screen.
Right. And and that's kind of one of my other issues with this episode is it feels very like they need, because I think they're wanting to get the girls and the group, the gang, to do the fundraising efforts, and and it does add beautifully to the poignant conclusion. But I don't know, just something about it just didn't feel. It felt a little undercooked in a way. Yeah, that part of the plot.
I feel like it needed more time to grow. It felt like it needed to be more cohesive.
Right. As we were saying, it's like this is a very episodic or very vignette heavy episode. It reminds me of the way that like holiday episodes were done for 90s kids shows. In particular, like the way I felt Rocko's Modern Life handled the Christmas episode, which I love those holiday episodes, but they are very gag related. They're almost like little like kind of strips in the comic strips in the newspaper practically. And similarly, this feels like the sitcom equivalent of that type of humor, where it's like they have like a setup and a bit, like a sketch. So like that's what leads, this whole thing of it doing poorly and they lost his job and then there's going to be no dinner. Oh no, what's going to happen? And then it's like, all right, kids, so let's get some comedy in there. So we're going to have a rumble in the alleyway between the different different charities.
Whoever the heck is playing the head of that Salvation Army band is just selling every second of her screen time, and it is fabulous. She does such a good job.
So you're talking about not the Santa Claus, but the Sister Sarah, right?
Sister Sarah, Sister Sarah and her Salvation Army band.
Yeah, you didn't recognize her?
Actually, you mentioned who she was, and I did recognize her at the time, but right now it's slipping my mind.
It's Lynn Marie Stewart again.
That's Lynn. Holy crap. I would not have recognized her at all.
Okay, so for those...
She's so good. She's so versatile.
She is... Okay, so this is the thing. When I look back at the other parts that she's played within the show, she's Barbara, the very, very white Barbara in High Neighbor Book 2. She's the wrestling coach in tag team wrestling, and you kind of see the bone structure here to make the comparison. And she's Muriel in Date with Eraserhead.
Yeah, I would not have recognized her as Muriel.
She has 3 more parts in the show as different characters coming up.
Wow. She has an ability to be such a chameleon. I would not have known that quality about her. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really great. Cool. And I still haven't seen her on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but you've mentioned that she's fantastic. I need to watch that show.
She's marvelous. She plays Charlie's mom. She's so good.
Which that just, I can already tell that's a great fit.
It is. It's perfect. She's perfect as his mom. And she's also great in Golden Girls. She does have a little bit part in Golden Girls. She's good in that. And she a one-time role. Guess what?
I may just have to watch the one episode. I don't know if I can do another deep dive into a sitcom again.
Golden Girls is so good. You should watch Golden Girls. That's my opinion. It's
okay.
worth it.
I'll think about it.
Maybe. I'll drag you in like a shark, just sticking my teeth in your head. Anyway.
Why did I have to go cry out, Lord, give me a girlfriend when I was standing right by the ocean? This is what happens. I get a sharky girlfriend. That's what I get.
No, his brains taste like Giallo movies. Why? Anyway.
Oh God. Anyway, so the Caroline, revisiting the Laverne can't sing well.
Yep. The three-way charity fight, which is really funny.
And then the charity fight. I mean, I love it. It's very much like the newscaster fights from the Anchorman movies.
Yes. And Carmine being all critical of everything, and Shirley showing off her license, which isn't the right license.
Right.
And then
oh yeah, that's right. And Officer Dick Sack shows up again.
Yes, Officer Bagatelli, to use his proper name, though. Balls is a fine nickname for him.
Yeah. Oh, and I love that this show establishes that within this world of the show, there's the International Board of Kris Kringles, or the IBKK.
Yes. There is an actual Santa Claus union, though, in real life.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. They're awesome. They're good people, from what I understand. McFoley did a documentary about them.
Oh wow.
He trained to be a Santa Claus. And go around with his beard all white and play Santa. Zero likes Christmas.
Interesting.
Yeah, they did a whole documentary.
But I do find the license to solicit money is very amusing to me, because it got to the point where in Portland we've kind of had an issue with panhandlers for a while, but what happens though is that there's a ton of them that show up on near the freeway close to where I live, on the corners, on the on and off ramps. And we would see them like go in shifts, and so my family and I used to joke about how like, it's like if there's a union, and they have to have a license, and there's scouted territory, and there probably is. I mean, for all I know, but
possibly.
But that line, your license to solicit money, we didn't know we needed one. That joke landed really well for me when I got to that.
Perfect.
Anyway, speaking of Wayne Powers as Officer Balls, So it's him returning again. It's Wayne Powers again. And so this is a guy that like, it's kind of a bummer that, because I believe this is his only appearance as the character. He comes back later in season 8, I think, as two more characters. I kind of almost like him being sort of he kind of mucks it up for them a bit. It's like, as much as I don't like the character, it's kind of an interesting occasional antagonist. Yeah, exactly. It's like they were trying like different rules out for Officer Bagatelli. Is he Laverne's boyfriend? Is he an antagonist for these girls? Honestly, they didn't seem to really have an idea of what to do with him. He's a replacement Norman. We said it before, we'll say it again. It's like he's a replacement Norman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, I have no idea what they were trying to accomplish with them. They try again to kind of replace Norman within the scheme of the show later in the season. That'll be coming up. We'll get there. But we'll talk about that when we get past these various episodes upcoming. Right.
I have a simple note when it comes to everything Carmine is doing in the scene. Put a sock in it, Carmine.
Oh, yes. Well, that's much more succinct than mine. Carmine, again, please, shut the up.
I'd like to apologize to all of our Carmine-loving viewers. He does have his good points. Gosh, the scene.
Sure.
What?
Points.
Yeah. At least he does buy Shirley a Christmas gift. A musical muff.
Fine.
It's cute. It plays music when she sticks her hands in it, which is something, she'd probably enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone somewhere is making a dirty joke, but my mind is pure and clean at the moment.
My mind was pure and clean. I was just trying to picture the smile in her face.
When she sticks her fingers in her muff. Yes, anyway.
God damn it, you said it first. Fuck!
You asked for that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. I was gonna say it, then I backed off, and then you said it instead. And I don't know if I should cut it or not. Whatever. We'll see about that.
It's going to have an M rating or not.
Oh God. Anyway,
Oh,
but
God.
it is nice of Carmine to get. He got her a gift. That's sweet. And the thing is, Carmine is very supportive for the most part.
Yes.
Even when it's like he's saying like, yeah, they're going off to that place where they got the cranberry sauce, turkey, etc. Still got the address for that,
Yeah.
But he means. I guess what I mean is Carmine means well in this episode. That's the thing.
He tries. He tries. He's trying to help the girls out. And he helps out, with the situation, with the dinner. He's being good. We just have to make a joke about his gift-giving skills there, so to speak.
Right. But anywho, and then comes kind of the big finale. Everything's all down, and then we get the big finale. I love they just end up potlucking it.
Yeah, it's so cute. First, the bums come in with whatever food they can scrounge up. Then Frank has that light bulb moment that he realizes, oh, I can make pizza. They'll eat the pizza. And then Anna tries to pitch in with her ham and banana surprise.
Oh, a spam and banana surprise.
Spam, yeah. I corrected myself. Spam and banana surprise. And then in come the boys with perhaps the best present of all, and some of the best dialogue of all, the big old turkey and all the trimmings. And then everybody gets to sing, and it's such a Marshallian, cheerful, now I won't go so far as to call it sappy, but sweet, not saccharine, tender moments. And it's so good. It's so well handled. It's impossible not to feel sorry for Frank, and then you're happy for him once this all comes through.
Yeah. I think that the payoff I also felt about it was that when you consider the homeless, the bums, and the kind of layers of where these characters are, because you have a show about working class people who are then trying to give back to even those who are even less fortunate than them, and they themselves are at times struggling in poverty. It reminds you that the connection and the sense of family that you can share in times of the dark, cold winter really is the solace that helps you make it through the rough times. Because winters aren't hard. I mean, we live in much better climates, than or at least in a time now technologically that we have heaters and air conditioning units and things like that. We're not scrounging for just enough firewood to stay warm so we don't die before the end of December.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, for that, one of the reasons, when I don't want to harp on the homelessness thing too much, but it's a part of the reason I ended up falling out of love with the idea of apocalyptic stories, post-apocalyptic stories, was because scrounging and scavenging through cities and suburbs and houses and trash cans is what many people in the homeless community are literally doing every day. And those of us in our little comfortable spaces reading exaggerated stories that create these macho power fantasies about it seems incredibly what's the word? I guess uncouth or disgusting, shameful or shameless, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it feels like I guess what it is, it's like poverty tourism. So the reason I bring this up is that that's kind of interesting about this episode is that it doesn't, it's very martial. So it's not going to be able to hit on those notes where the girls are going to be hanging out with them and figuring out their difficulties and helping, and be able to at least give them a sense of community or what have you, because it easily could have turned an episode where Shirley wants to help all the poor. And, that be the focus is them trying to get people together and trying to figure out what to do. And then Frank comes in at the end, the Deus Ex, or the Frank Ex Machina, which it doesn't. But I like, as you're saying, the Carol moment, it brings home what it said at the beginning, at the top of that scene, is that they don't come for the food, they come for the family. They come for the connection, a place to stay warm and to be safe with people that care about you. So, anyway, that's my $1.50. I wouldn't call it 2 cents.
Yeah. It's sweet, and that is precisely what the show is trying to tell us, to be honest. That it doesn't matter what you have, what matters is that you're together. I love that everybody tries to pitch in with their own thing. Everybody tries to pitch in with what they can provide. I love that Laverne thinks Frank's going to say something really profound. My pop's going to say something beautiful. Christmas is pizza. It's so good. It just sinks into shoulder after he's done, and like, I'm so embarrassed. I could die.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
And then it's just like the manger and all the furry little beasts. Hello.
Hello. And of course, the boys apparently give up double dating the daughter of a butcher so you get all the trimmings and this turkey. Since they have shared dates before, this isn't a new concept, but one wonders what the heck is going on. This is just one girl, and there's two of them. I'm just gonna let my audience do the math. Just let our audience do all the math here. Just make those calculations all on your own.
Hey, future me, be prepared to cut this.
Why? This part's innocent. What I just said was innocent, okay?
No, what you said was innocent. What I'm about to say, not so much. Hey, listeners at home, leave us a comment in the...
Oh my god! Okay, my note was... That was my exact note.
Okay, future me, you can, yeah. It's cut. Okay.
Future Chris. Show him, Sherman. Stuffing! That's cute. That's cute. Just pull up this handful of stuffing. We got cranberry sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl's thinking that they brought something really repulsive. I don't know, it's warming in a bag. Oh, I love it. And then, it wouldn't be Christmas without you. They'd hold it anyway, wouldn't they? Everything about that is so cute. The loyalty, the fealty, the friendship. The boys are finally part of the family here. The boys have finally joined the family after seasons and seasons of kind of being on the outside. That's really sweet. That's well earned.
That's a good
In spite of several things that happened earlier in the season.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. Ugh. God. Now, you know what? We're just going to wipe that from the canon. We're just going to wipe that from the canon.
It didn't happen. None of this
Didn't happen. I refuse. I refuse that the bully show. You know what? It's a show. It was a fake. It's like how it turned out that all of Super Mario Brothers 3 was a play, which is why there's a fan theory that all the Mario games are actually like performances, and that actually Peach and Mario and Bowser all get along as good actor pals.
Oh, that's cute. That's terribly cute. I like that idea a lot. I like that a lot. Sweet.
Anyway, but yeah, it's really sweet. And also, I love, as you were saying about the boys getting accepted, part of it is, who else is going to eat the Spam and Banana Surprise?
Yeah, they're so excited for it, too. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute. And then Edna's cooking gets to be eaten by somebody, and that's a good thing. Exactly. And we find out Edna can't cook here, which is interesting because Frank is so devoted to cooking. He made this big deal about Laverne being a good cook, and yet his close, steady girlfriend cannot put together a dish. That's interesting.
Now, it could be he just looks at it as, okay, one of two things. The first is that his insecurity means that he's going to want to be able to cook well for his girlfriend so that she'll never leave him.
Yep.
And because if she can't cook for herself, then she's going to be dependent on him. The second also possibility is, it's a challenge. I mean, you like to share something that you love, that you do, and he wants to see her get better at it. And he teaches her. I mean, think about how many times we've seen her being taught the ropes of the restaurant. It's the whole the different things, the different orders.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's that he likes her in general, and then she's like, "Well, Frank, I can't. I don't know how to cook. I've never been all that great at it." And he goes, "You'll be with me for a little while. I'll teach you. I'll teach you everything you need to know." Feels like a very frank, a very sweet Frank kind of thing.
It is. It's really nice. I really like it a lot. Adorable. Speaking of adorable, to sing along, everybody singing together. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know,
think so.
I don't have anything else really to mention about the scene. I mean, the carol moment is good, and yeah. And then it leads straight into the tag, where they get to finally open their presents and check in the tree. I thought that was so cute. They're being sneaky, and then it's like, all right, yeah. Like, I actually, I think in childhood that happened to me once or twice. I think where I was trying to sneak down, and my mom caught me, and she kind of smiled. It was like, yeah, I was gonna open mine too, and it's like, yeah, it was sweet. I think that happened at least once. I think.
That's sweet. That's adorable.
Yeah.
I love it. That's
Yeah,
so cute. And of course, they give each other matching Elvis prints.
Yes.
This, which they sign themselves, trying to convince each other that no, these are the real autographs, and that's so cute. That is once again a beautiful sign of friendship and a beautiful sign of their sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
This true friendship love, as I put it in my notes. This true love is, in a way.
How can you say you're someone's best friend if you don't forge an autograph for him?
Gosh, man. True.
And
I noted,
again, we... Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
I was gonna say, I noted this is Marshallian sentiment at its best. They both love each other a lot. They both manage to make each other happy, even though they're not real autographs. And then arm in arm, they go back to bed, and those lights come back on. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
And that goes into what I was going to mention was that again, love that they're playing with the lighting more. The low light scenes have been lovely so far, and it makes it a little more artful, which it's more like theater. I like it.
Yeah, it does. Honestly, it really does. And it actually makes a lot of sense for everybody. Yeah. Yay!
All right. So how are we ranking this one?
I do believe this is a solid 9 for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Aside, it might be my sentiment at work, my sense of sentimentality, but I really, really enjoy this episode every time I watch it. It's episodic, which kind of weakens the underpinnings. It's a little bit disjointed in some ways, but it works in several others. So it's worth it to me, though, because it does a beautiful job of explaining how much all of these characters love one another.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You know, when you think about it, even the boys trying to help Frank out by being his elves.
Yeah.
You know, that's an interesting, like, he appreciates them enough to trust them to do that.
Yeah.
And again, it's not even their fault that, you know, he loses the job. It was the kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's the kid's fault. The kid is a brat. You know, the kid's the problem here, not them. And even then, they feel sorry.
And then later that night, the kid got Krampused.
That kid is living in a snow globe forever.
Yes, indeed.
Forever. Poor little Scott Marshall. Hammering his little fists against the glass. Let me out. I won't kill somebody. Not the real him, the character. We gotta be emphatic here. Character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. And even,
yes.
Even then, there's a certain threshold when the kid is evil enough that they warrant, like, okay, I need to defend myself from this small, terrible, horrifying little creature. There's a tipping point.
The evil creature who's trying to chew your brains up.
Well, I was thinking of the devil times 5.
Devil times 5. Oh yeah, little tiny leaf Garrett.
Yes, that's right. Oh man. Yes. Oh God. I love that you know that movie.
You won't survive the Devil times 5.
Yep. All right. With that horror movie reference, at least okay. Hey, in my defense, that does take place during the winter. That movie takes place. It's adjacent to Christmas. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give this more like a 7-ish. I think maybe a 7.5. It did. Now, part of this is I'm not much of a Christmas guy. You know, religiously speaking, I'm not Christian. I mean, I belong to a faith that is Judeo-Christian Islamic in roots, but it's more. I'm a Baha'i, so I mean, I believe in Christ. And I believe in a lot of that, but because of the fact it also believes in the science of harmony and religion, and also is aware enough to know that Christ's birthday was probably closer to Easter, which is what a lot of historians and scientists have kind of deduced. So anyway, so Christmas as a holiday doesn't like connect, you know. It's a fun seasonal thing. So I don't get as wrapped up in Christmas episodes because of that. yeah, what's there is really cute, is really sweet. What I like about those aspects, I love, as you said, the sisterhood element is great. Like
Yep.
one of the things I love is that the fights they have in this episode, and I kind of, in some respect, actually the last few episodes we've covered, the fights that they've had have been a bit more like superficial feeling, in the sense that they're
Yeah.
not, you don't feel their friendship's at risk. And that is a really good way to make a sitcom
Yeah.
feel safe. And so that makes them getting back to, coming together at the end with the little moment out of the tree and the little Christmas magic turning the lights on. That's what makes that really land best.
Yeah.
And because you know that no matter how much they argue, eat the star, etc., one
Yeah.
day Shirley is going to be telling her kids that story of, no,
yeah.
your Aunt Laverne ate the star. It was in my family for 11 years. Did she die? No, Laverne DeFazio is something that not even science can explain, So-
Yes. Oh my god, I can still picture this. And then we went down to the restaurant and we had spam and bananas with pizza and turkey. It's just like, yeah. And all the bums brats. Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. That's so cute. That's so cute. I can so envision that. It's impossible to come away from this episode without feeling some warm fuzzies. It's just like, yeah.
Exactly.
Touches the old ticker.
Yeah. Even if you're not a Christmas person, there's something for you.
Yeah. 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 I guess that's the episode.
I think it do be the episode. Cool. So, I guess with that in mind, thank you again so much, everyone, for joining us on Night After Night, the podcast for all your Laverne and Shirley needs. And if you would like to know more, please join us at Night After Night Pod on Facebook, WordPress, or Tumblr, or the Patreons, or I don't know, just Google search for us or something. But you also can find us on Twitter, which we're a little more active on, at Night After Night PC. Night After Night podcast should also work as well in the search function. But yes, that is our show for today. So I got this weird feeling about the next episode. It's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a question. I feel like I'm reminded of a parental figure. I don't know.
Shirley becomes concerned that she's adopted when it's pointed out to her that all of her relatives are tall and blonde. Egg Begley Jr. guest stars in Who's Papa?
Got it. Okay. Well, hopefully the question will be answered. Otherwise, at the end, it's gonna. Oh God, that's a question you need an answer to, or else you're just gonna be wondering, who are you? What am I? Who are we? And then you suddenly, what is this? And then you suddenly swirl off into the cosmos with a crazy airplane pilot as you're jamming on a guitar, referencing a PlayStation game that not anybody who listens to this podcast has probably ever played.
And of course, the most important question, how did it get burned?
I don't know.
How did it get burned? How did it get burned?
I don't know.
We love you, Nicolas Cage.
All right. Well, until next time, folks, we'll see you, and maybe try to tighten up our speaking a little bit.
Just a little bit, only a tiny bit. Bye, y'all.
Laters.